Once again, hello and welcome into the Unash and Dukes podcast. Coming your way here as we got a lot to discuss here on the program and the podcast here today. Scott Unash, my name. That's Mark Dukes. That's Mark Ironside below. It is a Wednesday, so we will start things off talking collegiate wrestling, Hawkeye wrestling with you with the Hall of Famer Mark Ironside. And couple of people we need to thank first and foremost. Number one is our presenting sponsor, Emil's Hideaway, First Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids. They're right across from the Lindale Mall, next to the Home Depot. Not only a classic local American restaurant with a fully stocked bar, but tell you what, you've got all kinds of great food there. Whether it's the Hawkeye, the Cuban, those are my two of my personal favorites. You like to get ribs, Mark, when you are there in the past. I know that. So you can't go wrong with anything at Emil's Hideaway. So thanks to them.
Not at all. They have the rib special and shrimp. They got a pretty nice bartender every now and then too, called Jamie.
Who's a good Chiefs fan?
They're getting less and less.
She's in misery just like me. So thanks to Emil's Hideaway. Thanks to Kurt Gustafson Agency of American Family Insurance. Kurt is committed to inspiring and protecting dreams right here in Cedar Rapids and the surrounding area. And he starts to getting to know you and your needs and build a free auto, home, or life insurance quote. And by bundling policies, he can often offer a variety of discounts, whether you're purchasing a car, buying property, managing an investment property, starting a small business, or leaving behind a legacy. He's got your back as you pursue your dreams. He's right across from the Johnson Avenue Hy-Vee on Johnson Avenue Northwest in Cedar Rapids. So thanks to Kurt Gustafson Agency of American Family Insurance. And we'll tell you more about our other great sponsors coming up in a little bit, but we always want to give Kurt a big shout out because he is the sponsor of our segment with Mark Ironside here as we talk some college wrestling between snowstorms or snow arrivals and departures, if you will. That's not good for hunting, is it?
Snow?
Yeah, or is it?
Oh, it's good.
Okay.
Especially snow and cold weather. I tell you what, if you have a good food source, there's nothing better. It's the perfect weather for it. So,
Okay.
Is that trophy deer still out there?
as far as I know, it is. I don't, as of
Okay.
right now, I don't think anybody shot it. No, not that I've heard. I know that my brother and his daughter did not get it last weekend. So, but my brother's literally, as we speak, sitting in the tree right now, hoping he comes by.
You were busy last weekend at the Donnybrook, so how'd that go?
Yeah, Stacy and I were extremely busy Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, even Wednesday, with that being said, setting up on Wednesday afternoon too. So it went good. It was really, really good. First time I've really been to that tournament, a high school tournament, and it's boys and girls both. And they run girls for the first day and a half, and then boys the next day and a half. And they did a fantastic job. The Iowa City Area Sports Commission, puts that on, and Josh Emmerger and Luke Eustace and Kylie Stock, and there's so many other people involved that put so much time into that. And there's as we know, there was a big snowstorm coming in Wednesday or Saturday night, so they got that thing done and wrapped up a lot sooner than what they were anticipated to do, which was fantastic. So, but it was good. It was really good. A lot of good matchups and good high school wrestling, and sales were awesome as well too. So that makes it even better.
There you go.
Iowa back in action this weekend in Hannibal, Missouri. You're going to be there, Mark. Two duels that Iowa should win. But coming off the Iowa State loss, what do you want to see out of this team or particular individuals?
It's kind of a little bit like losing to Ohio State and then coming and wrestling. I think it was Pitt, and how hopefully we can rebound and we can put a lot of points up on the scoreboard and just come out offensive. I mean, there's some situations in some of our guys where we're just not scoring points when we need to. I mean, we can score points against the average Joes, but against the better top tier athletes out there and wrestlers out there, we're just not putting the points on the scoreboard. But it also starts at the low level too. If you can't put points on the scoreboard against, low level guys, or lesser level guys, like what we're going to be facing out of Utah Valley and Chattanooga, then how are we going to score points against Penn State? So I look for a lot of points to be scored and some getting back on the mat and trying to get the ship steered back in the right direction and taking advantage of a couple of opportunities to wrestle back to back right away, and then go down and then turn around and come right back and then get ready for just do some good training, go through a little bit of a good training phase, take a nice little break for Christmas, and then hit the Soldier Slough.
Do you anticipate a lot? I mean, maybe some different guys getting into the lineup. I mean, no offense to Chattanooga or Utah Valley, but they are not two of the dominant wrestling programs out there. Is this an opportunity maybe to get somebody in there who's hungry a little bit?
I don't think we have anybody. I think our lineup is pretty solidified at this point. I
Okay.
think the only weight class as of right now, honestly, that's kind of up in the air is 157 between Jordan Williams and Victor Voinovich. And I thought maybe 125 would be kind of a little bit more open than what it is, but it seems like Dean Peterson has kind of won that spot with once he beat Troy Spratley from Oklahoma State, who was a runner-up last year. I think it's probably become his position as of right now, or at least it looks like that. So, but yeah, I don't foresee anybody. I don't think they're going to be really even taking any backups or anything, and just going down there and throwing our top guys out there. Hopefully, make quick matches, put some points up, maybe possibly get a couple pins here and there. Would be great to see, and turn around, hop on the bus, and get our butts home.
Mark, I don't know if you saw this, but Flow Wrestling came out with its tournament rankings. And it's interesting, but it comes with a caveat because the rankings are made, they don't consider inactives, like Josh Barr, who's number one from Penn State, and they don't consider bonus points. Just on advancement points, they have Ohio State number one by 1 point over Penn State. And Iowa is a point and a half behind Ohio State. So what that tells me, and you look at the rankings, Iowa has everybody in its lineup ranked in the top 10, many in the top 5. So in terms of potential, and you can't discount bonus points. You have to consider Josh Barr at the end of the day. But those rankings told me that maybe the folks that were disappointed in that Iowa State meet should be a little more encouraged, knowing that rankings are what rankings are. You still have to live up to your potential.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. And we talked about that. After last week, after the Iowa State meet. It's like, it's not the end of the world. I mean, you could wrestle that dual meet over and over, and it could be completely different each time. We're right there, and we were so close in some matches. And Iowa State won a couple of matches that we should have won, should have, would have, could have, and that was a difference. And Iowa State, got to give them kudos. They're a good team too, but it's not where you start, where you finish. And we have potential to do a lot of great things with this team. It's just a matter of getting them to fire on all cylinders and to get bonus points when we can and when we can use them. And I think that's honestly really, really key. It's just, I think sometimes right now we're just wanting to win. And when you're just wanting to win, then your mindset's it's not gonna be, and your focus isn't gonna be where it needs to be, which is to score points. Okay, if you're just trying to win, you just want to win, your mind, when that whistle blows for the first time, a lot of times won't go to, okay, I need to get a wrist, I need to get an elbow, I need to get an angle, I need to get to the leg, I need to finish this shot. And then when I finish that shot, I need to turn this guy over. And if I can't turn him over and I still got some ample time left, I need to cut him right now and I need to go get another takedown. And then if I get another takedown, then I got to look at the clock to see if I have an ample time to get another takedown, or try and turn him over, pin him, and I could go on and on and on. But it's more so the focus on just winning. And then it's like the first whistle blows and it's like, okay, I just need to make sure that he doesn't get tied on the inside tie on me on my left-hand side. I want to make sure I block off this. I want to make sure that I just kind of stay out of danger right now. I'm looking for that perfect opportunity. I got all kinds of time. I don't want to force anything right now. Your mind is not firing where it needs to fire to be offensive for 7 minutes. And that leads to being dominant and then not coming down to one score, whether you win or lose a match. And then as we've seen, it goes to overtime, multiple overtime matches this year that we've had. And then we win some and then we lose some. It's just it's so much of what we have going on right now. I think it's a frame of mind when that whistle blows and what we're really, our overall goal is, what we're thinking about when that whistle blows and why the time is ticking off that clock. Where is your mindset? Is it on being offensive and scoring points, or is it on, I just want to win this match? And right now it looks like we just want to win the match. Or if we're not supposed to win the match, just try to keep the match close.
I think you bring up a good point, and we talked about it last week a little bit. The mental part of things, I think, is going to be, there's, other than the wrestling down at Hannibal Friday night, there's pretty much 2.5 weeks with your training, and not only physical training but mental training, because there were mental things that Iowa needed to do a lot better. Iowa State did do well. Iowa didn't do so well. I think the Hawks need to work on that, and I'm sure they have been working on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that, Coach Tom and Terry Brands and staff, I mean, I'm sure that they talk about on a regular basis. And again, I'm not in the room, so I don't know exactly what's being said and what's being taught and so forth. But I do know Tom Brands. I do know Terry Brands. I knew where their mindset is. Heck, just go back and look up some of their matches on YouTube. I mean, just watch how they compete. And then you'll see where their minds are at. You'll see where their focus is at. You'll see by the scoreboard will tell you, and that's all you need to know. And nothing's changed with those guys from that aspect. It's just a matter of how do we relay that to the current guys and then develop them so that it happens actually on the mat when it counts. And not only the mat when it counts, but not just against Tennessee Chattanooga and Utah Valley this weekend, or Pitt or Bellarmine or something like that, but against Iowa State, against Okie State, against Penn State, against Ohio State and those top tier teams. That's when it really, really counts. And that's when it really, really matters, and so much of anything that you do in life, it doesn't really matter what it is. Anything you do in life it's all up in it's in your mind. Your mind controls everything. The swing of a golf club, it controls it. It doesn't, how you react to a bad shot, whether it's a golf shot or a wrestling shot, it doesn't matter. Your mind controls everything. It's the most powerful thing that you have in your body, and you need to use it for good. And I don't know, it's so easy to try and not to lose versus it's a lot easier to go out and wrestle not to lose than to go out and dominate. And that's where we're at in this day and age, is people want to take the easy road. And you can see it by the way, and not just Iowa right now, but just the way wrestling is in general. I mean, people talk about how wrestling has changed so much, and it's evolved where we wrestle on our knees a lot. And it's so much scramble and rolling around and stuff. Well, that doesn't take the energy as it does to actually keep your hips underneath you and your head up and drive up through a guy and come up to your feet and actually lift a guy through the air and drive him through the air. That takes energy. And it's become a kind of a lazy person sport. Heck, I just had a customer come in my office today, a lady, and I don't know how much she knows about wrestling. I mean, I think she has a kid that wrestles in like 5th or 6th grade or something. And she's talking about wrestling a little bit and watching it on TV. And she's like, it's just not what it used to be. It's like, I turn it on and she's like, my husband and I kind of watch it. And it's like boring. Like nobody does anything. And I know, try calling it on the radio sometimes, It's just like, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out where we're at with with the sport. And the thing is, this is why I get on the vent about the stupid 3-point takedown. Why do we have that? To create more action? Does it work? No, it hasn't worked. Why do we need a 3-point takedown? Why do we need a 4-point near fall? To try and get people to turn people over more often. Okay, but we're not pinning anybody anymore. We're less and less and less pins all the time. None of this is working. They're trying so hard to make the sport exciting again, and it's not happening. And the rules people are trying to do different things to basically put a Band-Aid on something that needs stitched up, and needs staples. And I'm getting on a soapbox, but and again, it's not just Iowa, but I mean, it is some Iowa for sure, but it's not just Iowa. It's just a sport in general. And it's just, I just wish that people would step on the mat and think about scoring takedowns, and lots of them, and turning people over and putting their backs and pin them. Pin them's fun. I mean, you watch someone get a pin, and what that does to the crowd. I mean, they go ballistic. It's like, oh my God, that's so awesome. Why don't we do more of that? I'm done.
Well, you're talking about being dominant. Look at the Iowa women. And part of that is the competition. There isn't great competition right now, but they will get competition Thursday night against Grandview, an NAIA school. That part of it, plus this package on PBS. They brought it back last year. We talked to Tim Johnson, our friend and my former classmate, about it. I think it's great on PBS. You remember, how many times did you tune into PBS, Mark, and watch a wrestling meet?
Well, that's how I grew up watching Iowa public television, was with that's how I would tape them with the VCR, Tom and Terry Brands, every single week, and I'd go down and watch them and have my mom videotape or record them on the TV, and then my brother Matt and I would wear those VHS tapes out. And that's how we learned how to wrestle, was watching those videos and seeing every little thing that they did, and where they put their hand and where their hips were, and how they not only just, technically, but how they competed and how they ran back to the center, and how they got in on a shot and they kept driving through. And if a guy got in on their leg, they didn't just fall down for him, and if they got taken down, they did everything in the world to get right back up immediately. And you can learn so much. And that's how my brother Matt and I learned. It was literally through VHS tapes, watching, Tom and Terry Brands, and then the Iowa, what is called the Iowa Way at the time, and the Gable guys. That's it was fun and exciting wrestling. And going back to the Iowa men, they're dominant and they're good. They get obviously it's Iowa, and they get a lot of the best recruits in the country. But they don't have a Penn State to compete with. They don't have an Oklahoma State to compete with, or an Ohio State, or an Iowa State. They don't have any of that. Oklahoma State did get a
club
team, so that's a start. But I wish that women would start. You got all this high school girls wrestling now, but it's just completely stalled out at the collegiate level. You're just not seeing a lot of, and if anything, you're seeing more like smaller NAI type schools opening up, but not any of your top tier like D1 or high profile teams opening up. And unfortunately, like anything, it comes down to money, and it comes with the price. So Iowa got in there. Iowa did it in hopes that other big schools would follow, and they really, really haven't. So
give the women's wrestling in this country the money that is being spent on buyouts for college football coaches. Bam. Huh?
You don't even need to give them the money for buyouts for college football coaches as in plural. Just give them the buyout money just for Franklin alone. That's it. Just one. Okay. And we'll see what that could really generate some great collegiate wrestling teams for Iowa women, for women's wrestling for sure.
Oh, brother. Hey, we talked about our buddy Josh Schamberger earlier on, and he's got something coming up soon down at Coralville.
Yes, so the Ukrainian Ukrainian women's world freestyle team is in town, and they're having a camp they're coming in and just training and right now, and the U.S. women's team is in town and training as well too. And at the end of this 2-week camp, they're going to have a dual meet at the Extreme Arena, and I think it's on December 18th. I don't know the time exactly, and it's going to be a U.S. team versus the Ukrainian team. And it's the night of December 18th at the Extreme Arena, and I think it's free. You just have to bring in like a canned item or a perishable item, and that's your entry to get in and to watch a awesome dual meet with some of the top tier USA women compete against the top freestyle team for the Ukraine, who's really, really good.
You're going to have to start thinking about the plunger pretty soon, Mark.
Oh my goodness. Well, we got the temperatures coming. Oh my gosh. We're not going to be short any ice, that's for sure. So yeah, that's a huge fundraiser for the Hawkeye Wrestling Club, and every year I try really hard to raise a good amount of money for the Hawkeye Wrestling Club, and that's one of the ways that I can give back to the club and the sport that did so much for me, and it just doesn't matter what it is. How many years I do it does not matter. I still dread jumping in the water. I dread it.
I don't blame you. You've had your daughters try it. Now they don't want to do it.
No,
I don't know who you can talk into it now.
I'm on my own.
Not me. I'll give you a couple bucks, but I'm not jumping in, Mark.
That's what a lot of people say. They say, "I'll give you the money. I'd rather just give you the money than jump in. So here's some money. You go have fun."
Find out more about that. Go to Hawkeye Wrestling Club's website, right?
That's the night of that is the night of the Penn State duel. I think the duel, if I remember right, it's at like 5 or 6 o'clock. It's an earlier duel, and then after the duel, everybody will go to Brown Deer Golf Course, and then that's when we're gonna have the plunge. So it's gonna be a big day that day. So yeah, if you go to the Hawkeye Wrestling Club's website, and then you go to the Arctic Plunge, and you can go to donate and click any person that you want that's plunging or jumping, and then you can donate to them. So I got to get a picture of myself up on that plunge thing. Yeah, my name's up there. I'm registered. I've been getting plunges. I need to get a picture of those, so then it makes it easier for people to see me, and then they know it's me.
There you go. All right. Have fun in Hannibal.
Yeah, good old Hannibal. Watch them speed cameras down there. They'll get you.
Yes, you got to watch. And watch Palmyra, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, Palmyra, Missouri, the greatest speed trap in America. They mean 55 when you go through Palmyra, Missouri.
Where is that at? Is that on my way? I don't think
yes,
so. Is it? It
just
is?
North of Hannibal.
Oh, shoot. Well, I'll have to make sure I watch my P's and Q's when I'm driving down there and leaving at freaking 10:30 at night.
All right, Mark. Have fun. We'll talk next week.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right. You bet. Mark Ironside's appearance brought to you by Kurt Gustafson Agency of American Family Insurance. Kurt is located on Johnson Avenue Northwest in Cedar Rapids, right across from the Johnson Avenue Hy-Vee. And take a moment to thank not only Kurt, but also, as we mentioned, our presenting sponsor of Emel's Hideaway on First Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids, open at 4 o'clock Monday through Saturday. Dr. John Woolner at Epiphany Dermatology on Council Street Northeast in Cedar Rapids with over 30 years of experience. And find him, give him a call, get checked out. As well as Hunt Graphic Innovations. Todd Hunt does a tremendous job for us, not only with CRM Live Sports, but with this podcast as well. And if you're looking for a personal touch that counts with everything you're doing online and serious about creating an eye-catching website or need assistance in graphic design for print, newsletters, posters, signs, or banners, see Hunt Graphic Innovations, as well as Ben Ritter Sportswear in Cedar Rapids as well at downtown, 817 2nd Avenue Southeast. And call Gary and the gang at 364-3479 or visit them online at bimritter.com. I got them all, Mark?
I believe you did.
And if you want to be a sponsor,
we can add to the list anytime.
Let us know. Let us know. All right, it's Cy-Hawk week, basketball-wise. nobody gets as into it in the basketball realm, but by golly, you ought to get into it because this women's basketball game between Iowa and Iowa State is going to be a doozy. And to me, this is the best one, bar none, that they've ever had. I know it's been, 21 years since the last undefeated battle, but that was 3-0 versus 4-0. I mean, we're into 10 games into the season now for both teams. Both are undefeated. Iowa State is 10, Iowa is 11. It's going to be a raucous Hilton Coliseum for both of those games. That goes without saying. Um, but I think this women's game has a chance to be an all-timer, Mark. And it's you got so many storylines to this thing, which makes it fun.
No question about it. This is if it's not an all-timer, I go back to the Caitlin Clark versus Ashley Jones matchup. I think the last time Iowa State beat Iowa.
Yes.
But yeah, this is an all-timer. You got the nation's leading scorer in Audie Crooks from Iowa State, a fast rising player in Ava Hayden in the middle. Between Hayden and Layla Hayes, they're going to have to figure a way to slow down Audie Crooks. But Iowa State has other players. Abby Brown is certainly a very capable player. Two high-scoring teams. Iowa State this is going to be Iowa State's toughest test. Its opponents are 23-60. Iowa's played a slightly tougher schedule, maybe not even slightly. Iowa, remember, beat number 7 Baylor in a really good test. This is going to be another one. Iowa also faces UConn later this month. So up until this game, the paths to being unbeaten are a little bit different. I think probably the most significant game either has played up to this point.
So many things. You've got an experienced Iowa State team versus, other than Hannah Stolke and Feuerbach, by the way, former Cyclone, going back one last time to Ames to take on her former team. Although I don't know how many of those players were around when Kylie Feuerbach was playing for Iowa State, but I digress. Iowa State has a lot of veteran leadership. Brown, Crooks, they've been through this before. Other than Hannah Stolke, there's not a whole lot of people on the Iowa roster that have been through Iowa and Iowa State. Definitely advantage, I think, for Iowa State. I think an advantage for Iowa, they have played a slightly harder schedule than Iowa State, but they have not played a road game yet. They played at Cedar Falls and in front of a record crowd. There was a lot of black and gold up there, as well as purple and gold at the McLeod Center that day. This is a whole different level. I don't think Addie Deals played in front of a crowd that she's going to see tonight. I don't see the Chit Chat is played in front of a crowd that she's going to see tonight between Iowa and Iowa State. So a lot of questions that are going to be answered, I think, for both teams. And Bill Fendley, who's coming toward the sunset of his career, it's not sitting well how Iowa State has done against Iowa as of late. And he wants to get them at least one more time at Hilton Coliseum.
And they've got an opportunity the next couple of years because Crooks and Brown, I believe, are both juniors and going to be around for another year after this. But this is an opportunity for both teams tonight. Iowa State favored maybe by a bucket or two, mostly because of the home court advantage. But I'm fascinated to see this game. I think the country is as well because it's on ESPN.
National television for this one, and it's not an accident. It's on national television. And Audie Crooks, you're not going to stop Audie Crooks. She leads the country in scoring at 27 points a game. To me, I think that Abby Brown is going to be the big key because if Brown and others can hit threes, then you open up that middle. Iowa's got to come out and guard the perimeter. And then there's nobody in right now, women's college basketball, that can guard Audie Crooks one-on-one in the paint. There's just nobody. I mean, go back and look at the YouTube videos of her highlights this year. She's picked up so much strength and so much good footwork and skill than her days at Algona Garrigan. It is just really, really impressive. And kudos to Audie Crooks for taking her game to the next level. There were a lot of people that were wondering how she was going to do in college. She's answered those questions.
Myself included. And she's answered those questions in multiple ways. But I think for Iowa State to win, I think the Cyclones probably hope that it's a higher scoring game. Iowa State's averaged 95 points a game, granted against a weaker schedule. But for Iowa, I think it needs to play exceptional defense because Iowa beat Baylor because of defense. Limited Baylor, the number 17, 7 teams in the country, to 50 some points. I think Iowa, you can't expect to limit Iowa State to in the 50s, but something in the 70s, maybe high 80s. I think that's Iowa's best chance to win.
We'll see how Jan Jensen attacks the post defensively. She's a post wizard, and not only with her players, but how to stop other players. I shouldn't say stop because I don't think Iowa's going to stop Audie Crooks. Audie goes for over her average. Let's just say Audie goes for 30. What is the percentages that Iowa State wins, Mark?
If Iowa limits the other players quite a bit, I think Iowa can still win. But Crooks is the central figure, as is Brown and a couple others. Who's going to get in foul trouble? Who's going to guard Ava Hayden for Iowa State? Is it Crooks? Is it Brown? Is it somebody like that? And who's going to guard Crooks? Is it going to be a zone? What's going to happen there? Fascinating strategic elements to this.
Iowa might be a little deeper.
They are.
They are deeper, but
younger.
And this is going to be a real eye opener for many of those freshmen and sophomores on the Iowa team that don't know a lot about Iowa State. To be honest with you, there are Hannah Stolke, Jim Fee is out right now. There are a few people, handful of Iowans on this team, Callie Levine, et cetera, et cetera. But Iowa's kind of a national team now. And like I said, Addie Deal doesn't know a whole lot about Iowa and Iowa State, but she's going to learn tonight.
Yeah, Deal's from California. Layla Hayes is from Alaska. It truly is a national team that Iowa has. They're going to get their baptism tonight at Hilton Coliseum.
That's the women. The women's game is outshining the men's game. Would you agree?
Yes, it is.
I don't even think it's close. Because I'm not sure, just reading, and I'm not sure talking with other basketball people around, that anyone is thinking that this is going to be a relatively close game. And I hate to say that because I don't want to discount Ben McCollum and the men's team. They've done a terrific job this year. I've said it 100 times, Mark. We could call this the matchups podcast. Basketball is matchups. This is not a good matchup for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Not at all. But it's another opportunity for Iowa to play as well as it can because, losing at Michigan State the way it did, that's a learning thing. You go to Hilton Coliseum against the number 4 team in the country, just off waxing, dominating Purdue on the road. This is a team that's very hot right now. I think there are some bad matchups. I think Iowa State is very much going to try to neutralize Bennett Sturts, which forces Iowa to get some scoring from Fulgaris and Koch and Sage and Banks and other people. But Iowa State's got so many dimensions. The addition of Torrey impresses me a whole lot. And Dominic Nelson has come in and given him some good minutes. And Buchanan has been solid in the starting lineup along with Jefferson and Lipsy and Momcilovic. So tough ask for Iowa.
I gotta think Lipsy will be on Sturts, but I could be wrong. Um, Iowa State can put a lot of guys on Bennett Sturts, and I'm not sure Iowa has anybody that can guard uh, Jefferson going into that game. And then I'm not. I think Momcilovic is a guy that Iowa can keep up with a little bit. I think he's still going to get open. I mean, what TJ Otzelberger is doing with this team defensively and offensively is just incredible.
Defensively, in particular, I mean, Purdue was befuddled in that game, especially the guards, who were really good.
Who've been around
And
100 years.
absolutely. But Iowa State does such a great job when it's connected on defense. It makes extremely tough on teams.
And it don't hurt when you make a whole lot of 3-pointers.
Mm,
You
no.
can the worst team in the world can look good if the biscuit's going in the basket.
Yep.
But Iowa State, they have come out in the second half the last two outings and made something like they're went what 6 for 6 and then eight
Yeah,
for
it's
eight
crazy. It's crazy.
in threes, and they look like they're having so much fun out there, just laughing and smiling, and it's just they're on all cylinders right now. And not only TJ Otzelberger doing a great job coaching basketball, he's helping pick football coaches at this
Hmm.
point too for Iowa State. So his former colleague at South Dakota State now with Jimmy Rogers now at Iowa State.
Yeah, it's been a busy time for TJ. Not only did he have to play at Purdue on last Saturday, but apparently he was in the middle of discussions for the next Iowa State football coach. So he handled it very well, I would say.
I think they did okay. I think they
Yeah.
did okay. So yeah, we got a lot of basketball to discuss, and we got some very special podcasts coming up. Are you willing now, Mark Dukes? You just let me know when you want to let people know what's coming up in the offing.
I don't know. On the one hand, I'm thinking about the Wicked Witch and the Wizard of all in good time, my pretty, all in good time. But no, I think we should let people know what's on the horizon here. Mike Halas, former Gazette sports columnist, has graciously agreed to join us. That is going to be on Friday. The podcast will drop on Friday. Mike has entered into a writing collaborative with the Iowa Writing Collaborative and making a few appearances here and there, but we're really thrilled that he's going to join us again. That's on Friday, and also next Monday, we're going to have a podcast featuring former Iowa player and Iowa State coach Dan McCarney, who I saw today. Matt Campbell took out a full page ad in the Des Moines Register thanking many people, and one of them was Dan McCarney. And I think you and I have a lot of questions for Dan about the state of college football, what's right, what's wrong, um, what he went through when he changed jobs back in the day. I'm talking to Dan recently. I know he's looking forward to it, and we are too.
Really looking forward to that because not only to Mike, but to Dan McCarney and asking him about the state of college football and what he would do about trying to, I don't want to put words in his mouth saying fix college football, make college football better. I
Hmm.
think that may be a better statement. So I don't think Dan McCarney would not be playing in a bowl game.
There's no chance that he would let his players vote to not play in a bowl game. I almost guarantee you that. But Dan is not without opinions, nor is Michael Loss for that matter. But we're really looking forward to those two shows.
Yeah, so that'll be coming up Friday with Mike Halas, and then we're planning on Monday with Dan McCarney. So uh, looking forward to bringing you those two right here on the Unash and Dukes podcast. And Again, thanks to Emel's Hideaway on First Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids, our presenting sponsor, as well as Dr. John Woolner at Epiphany Dermatology, Bim Ritter Sportswear in Cedar Rapids, Hunt Graphic Innovations, and Kurt Gustafson Agency of American Family Insurance for all their help. And stop by, tell them thank you for helping out with the Unash and Dukes podcast. All right, we're going to go try to win some bowling games tonight. I brought
Good
it
luck
out.
and good boy.
I brought it out.
Good bowling
to change the luck of the team over the last 2 weeks.
Make it happen.
All right. Talk to you soon, Mark.
Sounds great.
All right. You've been listening and viewing the Unash and Dukes podcast. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you next time.